What radio? The music you want.
With your host, Keys Dan.
You smell kind of pretty. Wanna smell me?
RadioWhat.com. What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What Studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, I encourage you, head to DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have little old me, Keys Dan, at your event. I like to entertain the people. I like to play for the people. Hey, you know, it's wedding season. I've been doing a lot of weddings. Weddings. And, but I like all kinds of events. I've been doing karaoke jams, of course. Throughout the week, it seems that's the time for karaoke jams. And then Saturdays and sometimes Sundays. I mean, I usually like to keep Sundays lazy, keep it for family time. I don't want to overwork myself. And I do the podcast probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe Thursdays. But yeah, and you gotta give yourself at least one day for the fam. And if I can take an extra day, I will. I'll do it. I'll steal an extra day. I'll take a day off just so I can spend time with the fam, doing things that I want to do. But I likes to party and I likes to play for the people. So yes, the shows this week, I'll be doing the karaoke jam on Friday at the RAB Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. Yeah. All right, party people. Today on the program, the excitement builds. Oh, the body builds. That was kind of a pun, and I haven't even introduced her. Lyndsey Ludwig is on the program. I chased her down on the Instagram. She's very inspirational. She's had a body transformation. She's the CEO of Berserk Body and an athlete for Nutrition HQ. It says Mama, and it also says she's an let's start over. NANBF/NPC figure competitor, and she has coaching collaborations. Yeah, and that's what I know about Lyndsey Ludwig, and she's inspirational, showing off her workouts in pictures on the Instagram. And let's learn more about Lyndsey Ludwig. Let's do it. Calling Lyndsey Ludwig now.
Hello.
Hello. Lyndsey Ludwig, please.
This is her.
This is Keys Dan with the What Makes You Famous podcast. How's your day?
It has been great. How about yours?
Super duper. I was driving around all day long. I must have driven about 200 miles today. Just putting miles on the vehicle. So what's a day in Lyndsey Ludwig's life? Like say today, Lyndsey Ludwig. What did you do today?
Well, I got up this morning and made breakfast with my kids, and then I train people from my home. So that's part of the Berserk Body program. I train people. So I had 3 clients this morning, and then I went inside, took care of my kids and myself a little bit, and then I went to the gym this afternoon, and then I come home after the gym, train a few more people, then, take care of my kids again. It's kind of a cycle.
And that's a regular day in the life of Lyndsey Ludwig?
That is a regular day for me.
Now, I'm noticing you wake up and you train other people in your house, but then you go off to a gym and train yourself. Why is that?
I do. Well, when I first started out, I used to train here at my house at the gym that I train people at. That's where I started, and it worked at the time. It worked great for me then. I was by myself. I wasn't comfortable going to a gym and seeing other people yet, being around other people. I was very self-conscious. And so it worked to lift here. That was what was best for me at the time, but as I progressed and I needed to get myself out of my comfort zone. So I got a gym membership, and now I go and train at a gym.
Okay, so what's the advantage, or why were you self-conscious before of going to an actual gym? Whenever I go to a gym.
When I started working out, I was around 200 pounds. When I started lifting weights, I was about 200 pounds. And I didn't know what I was doing. Someone said barbell squats, or the program said, curls. I had no idea what they were. So I spent a lot of time, on Google and YouTubing, exercises. And so I wasn't real comfortable doing that in the gym. And, as you progress and you get better and better at lifting, you become more comfortable. And after a few years of training on my own, I decided that it was going to be best to get around the atmosphere, get around people that are lifting, learn from others that are, in the trenches, basically, it's best to rub shoulders with people that are better than you,
Okay. It's good to learn from the best. It's good to say you're playing chess. It's good to play chess with people that are better than you. And I'm sure that can be translated into many different fields, many different areas. Now,
absolutely.
The type of equipment
you're the smartest one in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Oh, that's correct. Yes. Never stop learning. And that's that's part of what this podcast is all about. And that's what I'm learning. I'm learning from you today, Miss Lyndsey Ludwig, the CEO of Berserk Body. And give a little bio of yourself, Lyndsey Ludwig.
Okay. Well, I'm a wife. I'm a mother of 5. I started my business after Berserk Body, after, going through this major life transformation. My biggest, I was 266 pounds. And, through my life experiences, I felt like it was best to share my abilities and what I had done with other people. And so in that, I kind of found my calling in training other people in Berserk Body, in helping other people grow and be better versions of themselves. I am an animal lover. I am a music enthusiast. I love art and graffiti and fun things like that, I am always outside. If I am not in a gym, I am normally outside. So I love the outdoors and anything that is outdoorsy,
Well, Lyndsey Ludwig, sounds like we had a lot of different facets of you to go into, a lot of different avenues to explore. All right, let's start with the home. Let's start with the home gym, and we'll take the exercise because that's the main focus for today. And then I definitely want to talk about the art and the outdoorsy things, the things you like to do. Now, the home gym, how is that different from the gym, equipment wise, from the gym that you have a membership to? Right.
So when I first started lifting, I started with a couple of sets of dumbbells, like a set of 5 and a set of 8 dumbbells, and then a Olympic weight set. So like I think I had like 135 pounds of weight.
And that's barbells?
With a bar, and yes, with a bar and a barbell. And then I had like this old bench that had like the squat rack attached to the back, right? It was nothing fancy. I started I had no electricity in my gym, and I had no air conditioning, no light.
Was this the 1800s? What are we talking here?
Exactly. And I started in June, and Missouri, so it is humid as all get out,
Okay.
And that July was one of the hottest Julys that was ever in existence. There was heat advisories like every other day, my daughter was, she would take naps after lunch. And so after lunch was about the only time that I could lift. And she would take a nap and I would come out here and sweat my butt off in the gym. That's kind of where the sweatshop got its name. That's kind of what I call it.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, then I progressed. I bought more equipment. I set goals for myself along the way, and one of the goals that I set was, if I lost 10 pounds in 30 days, I'd been lifting. It was about 6 months in, and I was losing, but I just wasn't going as fast as I wanted to. So I set, kind of this big, hairy, audacious goal. I was going to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, and then my goal was going to be $1,000. I was going to give myself $1,000 to buy me some new equipment.
That sounds like a good goal.
Yeah, and I did it. But I was hustling to get it done. I was a pound short the night before, and I was like, got out to the sweatshop, and I was running on my elliptical, getting sweating, trying to get it done. And I came in 10 pounds shy. So I came in and got $1,000, and I redid my shop. I put some mats down. I got some dumbbells, and and then I just keep adding things to it. An exercise ball. I just got a new hoist, like leg press and things like that, because I sold some of my equipment, got some better stuff. I've just progressed along the way.
Wow, Lyndsey Ludwig,
you don't have to. You don't have to start with much.
Yeah,
start somewhere.
It sounds like when you put your mind to it, you get things done. When you set a goal for yourself, you achieve that goal. Is that something you've been doing your whole life?
No, I learned the hard way.
It also sounds like the sweatshop is getting well equipped, and it sounds like it's getting better and better for your clients as well as yourself.
It is.
And now are there times when you say, "Man, I just can't make it to the gym"? Is the sweatshop sufficient for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
Now,
and there's many times that I'm out here having to work out instead of the gym because, sometimes I don't have that extra hour of drive time. It's 30 minutes for me to go to the gym.
Understood.
And home, so that's an extra hour out of your day.
Yeah, and it takes you away from the family bubble as well. Okay, so
exactly.
you have 5 children. When did you start this goal? I mean, was it after the 5th child was born? You said, my body's not the way I want it to be, and you just said, hey, let's go for it.
Well, it was, I think I was pregnant with my 4th child, and that was probably whenever I was my biggest. I remember going to a Cardinal ball game, and we had to take the stairs down, and I was just miserable. Like I was out of breath. I felt like crap, and I remember thinking, I can't chase children like this. Like there's no way. And I just kind of decided I needed to change myself. And, I started walking and, just cutting out bad habits, like sugar in my tea and things like that, I had coffee with so much sugar in it at one time that, it could stand up and walk on on its own.
Oh,
it had so much energy. So, I had to slowly change my life habits because they were bad,
Mm-hmm.
It definitely did not happen overnight at all.
Gotcha.
It's just been a progress of good habits that I've got along the way,
So, Lyndsey Ludwig, what year was this that you first put your mind to setting yourself straight and changing how your body looks or how your body feels?
It was June of 2015 whenever I started lifting and really, really trying to transform my life.
Huh.
I had, I yo-yoed like up and down around the 200 range, and I'd done, different things like Zumba and the Wii games and tried tons of different things. Bought programs online and, YouTube things and tons of different things. And I just needed to find my niche, find what was going to work best for me. And lifting was my niche. It was probably June of 2015 when I felt like, okay, this is what I need to do to exercise. This is the way that I'm going to transform my body. From that point, it was 15 months later. 15 months later, I was in my first bodybuilding competition.
What? That's great.
Yes.
See, but
yes, I placed third.
Whoa.
It was fantastic. Yeah.
How many people were in this competition?
That group probably had the hardest group, like 12.
Wow.
12 ladies.
And in 15 months, you went from feeling not so good about yourself and wanting to make a change. And in a year and just a few months, you're in a bodybuilding competition. That's amazing. Yep. That's amazing to me. All right. And so all those other things that you did, the Wii and the YouTube, they just didn't work out. That was previous to 2015, June of 2015 then.
Right.
Now, is this the first time that you've been lifting weights? Had you lifted weights as a kid in school or been into fitness at all when you were... Now, where do you live or where were you born?
Well, I was born in a little bitty town, Madison, Missouri. There's like
Missouri.
518 people.
Wow.
I have lived on a dead-end road my entire life. I am this small town little country chick.
That's cool. The Show Me State, a tiny little place in the Show Me State. 500 people. Now everybody knew everybody, I'm sure.
Oh man, yes.
And how big was the school? Did you have to get bussed into someplace else, or was there a little schoolhouse?
We have a school. I graduated with 22 kids.
Yeah. That's great.
We were all very close.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you're still living in Missouri then?
I still live in Missouri. I live in Monroe City now.
Is that bigger?
It is. It's bigger. It is. It's a quaint little town. I love it. Not everybody knows as much about everybody.
Well, that's good and bad. People help each other out if things are bad, and people know your business if things are good.
Absolutely. And you know what? This community really has came together to help me so much in this current competition.
Wow.
So I am just so honored and thankful for them. So.
Well, let's go back to the little town. What were you doing in school? Did you do any extracurriculars? Any sports?
Yeah, I played basketball for a few years, and we lifted weights a little bit then. And I liked lifting weights. I was always really strong, but I didn't. You lifted with the boys, and I was a little self-conscious about that too. And then I loved softball. I played softball. I was a I could play softball all the time. And I did some cheering too.
Oh, very good.
I was always trying to, be involved.
Sure, community
Trying to be
oriented,
an athlete,
and also a fit person as a young person in school. One of the cool kids, maybe.
I wouldn't say I was a cool kid. I would say I was a well-liked.
Yeah. You seem like a real
everybody
nice person.
knew me. Everybody liked me.
Yeah, see, that's a good thing.
I liked everybody.
It's good to be one of the cool kids. It's not bad. That's not a moniker of shame, by no means.
No.
I know that nerds seem to be where it's at these days. But the cool kids still have a place. Come on now. It's good to be an athlete, and it's good to take care of yourself. And this is coming from a person with a couple extra lbs. Okay, more than a couple extra lbs. And the reason I reached out to you, and yes, I've been stalking your Facebook and your Instagram, mostly your Instagram, and you're very inspirational. You're someone that yes, it has come a long way. If you go, scanning down a little further into the pictures, you see with the progress that's been made. And I'm excited for you. And I was excited to talk a little bit more to you, Lyndsey Ludwig, the CEO of Berserk Body. Yeah. and I encourage everyone to stalk her on her, and stalk maybe an accurate word. No,
cyberstalk. I call it cyberstalk.
Yes, we'll follow anyway, and that's what social media is for.
Yeah.
Is to learn about people and to be inspired, and that's exactly what I have been by you. I see you lifting your weights, and I see your before and after pictures, and Lyndsey Ludwig, you're a hero of mine, and a hero to many, I'm sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, and I know I sound like I'm buttering your bread a little bit, but you deserve it. You've worked hard, and you're working hard to help other people. Now that you've gained this knowledge, you're helping other people in their endeavors. But before we get into that, yeah, of course. Once you learn something, tell people about it. And that I was telling somebody, look, if you want any secrets kept, don't tell me, because I'll tell everybody. I'll put it on the podcast. If you tell me something that could provide some knowledge or encouragement to anybody, oh yeah, I'm a blabbermouth.
I love it. That's awesome.
All right. So in high school, you were playing sports. You still playing sports?
I lift weights.
Lifting weights.
I lift weights. Yeah.
I figured maybe you were in the softball still, or any kind of.
I did some jiu-jitsu and I did some slow pitch softball, and I love doing things like that. I just gotten a little older, broken a few things, doing some stupid stuff, So I kind of started, watching myself a little bit more, like trying to be a little bit more cautious. I'm not going to be, 37, my whole life. So
you get more fearful as time progresses. I tell people in their 20s, do everything you want to do. Fall on your face.
Yeah.
You're made of rubber. Yeah. Your Wolverine powers are in full effect. You'll heal.
Exactly. Yes. Now, 30s is a little bit.
You start to get a little more fearful, a little more intimidated, crepidatious.
Yes. We've still got a while more to live,
Yeah. But you say, you like the outdoors. Tell me when that infatuation came about. Was that something you did with the fam in Missouri, in the little town?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, small town, so I lived, lived down on a farm my entire life, My parents still live on a dirt end road. I live on a dirt end road right now, a dead end road. And we're just country people. We love it. Outdoors, we'll go hunting and fishing and hiking and anything that has to do with outdoors and nature is right up our alley. My grandpa was a farmer for his entire life, so it's really nice for me to grow up, on the farm. And
well, tell me about farming, Lyndsey Ludwig. Tell me what kind of farming you did.
Mostly he did some crops. He had a few cows and some guineas.
What's a guinea?
A guinea is like a chicken.
A chicken.
Only they're really loud, like a cross between a chicken and a guard dog.
Well, what good are they then?
Really, eggs.
Oh, okay. So you can get eggs from a guinea, even though they're kind of loud.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, these are the early days of Lyndsey Ludwig, and finding out more about you on the What Makes You Famous podcast, and CEO of Berserk Body. I can dig it. And okay, so you spent some time on the farm. And the farm was in Missouri as well?
It was. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the whole family's pretty tight, pretty close knit.
Yeah.
Did you say mom and dad went to Rhode Island?
No, they still live in Missouri.
How did I get Rhode Island? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, they still live in the house that I was, grew up in.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, they bought some more property over at a different location. I think they're getting ready to build on, but it is, it is on the Missouri River. It is awesome property. So a lot of hunting and fun things go on there.
Well,
do a lot of hiking with the family. So
that sounds pretty cool, Lyndsey Ludwig.
Yeah.
And so mom and dad still in Missouri. So how were they growing up? Your mother and father. How was the family life?
Humble farmer. My grandpa was a humble farmer. They lived in a small house. My mom lived in a small house. My dad was the only boy out of I believe there was 5. Yeah, 5. So 5 kids. He was the only boy.
Okay. Growing up with girls.
Yes, and when he was very young, the house burnt down. So he kind of had some humble beginnings too. They instilled some really hardworking values into me, I believe, just because of their humble upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
I was the first one in my family to get a college education.
Wow,
and,
that's great.
Yeah, that was really important to me to finish that, because I just wanted to someone to break that,
Yes.
And yeah,
so what kind of schooling did you do?
I just went to just got a basic business.
That's always important. People need to keep their books straight. That's for sure, especially if you're running your own business. So that's a nice base to have.
I've thought about going back and taking some more classes, because you can never ever stop learning.
No, for sure. And I'm sure with the athletic stuff that you're doing, you're probably at least taking some or learning some stuff out of books, or learning online and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my personal training certificate, and
perfect.
Always trying to learn more things about nutrition and health and fitness.
Now there was a time I worked at Bally's. I did that for Bally's Health and Fitness. I did that for about a year in Orlando, Florida, and I remember they would certify you in a few hours, in a couple of days. Sometimes you can get your personal training certificate, and I learned how to do step aerobics. Yes, I taught step aerobics and cardio funk. So yes, this is back in the 90s, the mid 90s. Nice. So yes, the best shape of my life, and I was excited about that. I was a firefighter, and I was in great shape.
Awesome.
But I've let myself go since Christmas '95.
It happens. That happens.
It does happen. Is it too late for me? I'm an old man of 50.
No.
Should I just give up?
No.
Is it over?
It is not too late. No. Absolutely not. I train ladies that are one of my ladies just turned 60.
Oh.
And she is ripped. She looks incredible. You know, I have another lady who she's in her 50s and she looks incredible.
Yes.
So no, it is never, ever, ever too late.
All right. So if I switch to a lady of 50, I can look incredible too.
No, you can be a man of 50 and look incredible.
Okay. So what you're hinting at is that you primarily train ladies at your humble abode, the sweatshop. Is that by design? Is that preferable?
I do prefer my ladies, but I have a few gentlemen, but mostly I online coach them. Just because of where their location is. I do have a young man who comes out and trains with me. He's 16 years old. He is awesome young man. But for the majority of the time, I train ladies.
Well, that comes to speak to. It is a very intimate thing. Training one-on-one and the stretching and and yes, I could see that where that could develop into some problems perhaps, and maybe I'm just projecting myself, but I think I speak for a few gentlemen that would probably be could develop an infatuation for their teacher, and that could pose a problem. Is that something that you've ran into before?
Well, no, I haven't really had that problem. What I think is the majority of the time is the ladies feel comfortable reaching out to me.
Yes.
And whereas men don't so much, and ladies are comfortable, talking to me, and,
yes.
They would much rather be trained by a lady than a man,
Well,
so I think a lot of it is kind of your preference for what you can tolerate, you know what I mean? Or what you want to be coached by. There are a lot of women that are, professional bodybuilders that I've, become friends with, and they have male trainers, they're totally okay with it. I just prefer to train my ladies because I feel like I grow so much with them and they grow so much with me. We just normally click really well, I'm pro women empowerment all the time. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, go with what you know, Lyndsey Ludwig. That's for sure.
That's
and if
right.
If you're comfortable, you do it. And maybe I'm projecting again. Could it be emasculating to be trained by a woman? Is that a problem?
I think that could be. I mean, it could be. Yeah. In the gym, I often see men do some silly things, which I've seen myself do silly things too, so I can't really. Right.
No, I've seen the videos of people using machines in weird ways.
Yeah, and I mean it can be intimidating to ask somebody else for help,
Sure.
and especially if you're a man and there are women there and you ask a woman for help, it doesn't happen very often. I think one of the guys at the gym asked me to spot him one time, and he's, one of my buddies. Every time we go in, we chat with him, So they don't ask me to me, But you're probably right. It's a little bit emasculating.
Well, that's something that you also do when you go to the gym, especially if you go to the gym at the same time every day. You start to develop some relationships with the people that are there, and you start to see them, and you have conversations. Hey, what are you working on today? Oh, I'm working on my traps today. Oh, all right. You know what? I need to do some shoulder rolls myself. Let's check this out. Let's do this.
Exactly.
And you do start to train with people, and I find that when I train with somebody, it's so much better than training by yourself, because it becomes, well, I don't know if it becomes kind of a competition, but yes, the spotting that you can help each other push a little bit more.
Yes.
And that's what you do with your Berserker Body Services, I'm guessing. Is that
yes,
correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, okay. When did you all right, you say you did your first competition 15 months after, so 2016, maybe the fall of 2016, was that right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when did you start feeling, because by that time you'd gained some knowledge. You've already trained your body into some kind of a better instrument or a tool or specimen, and you felt confident enough to get on stage and compete. Had you gained enough knowledge by this time? Had you started a business yet?
I started my business right at the beginning of that year, right whenever I started competing. Okay. Right about that time is whenever I opened my business and started training clients from my house. And still growing my knowledge, still trying to, better myself and better ladies along the way. So, I'm a firm believer that you can still be a mess and be an enlightenment and guide others too. You don't have to be perfect. You just gotta be getting better.
Oh, yeah.
You've learned a lot. There's a lot along the way. I'll tell you that.
No, and you're offering your knowledge and your expertise and to just be there for somebody, to be with somebody, and to help them in their journey, because you're on a journey. Well, we're all on a journey, and you're on a journey to better yourself, make yourself the best you can be. Now, you say you train ladies that are older, my age, primarily, or and you train that 116-year-old boy. So is that primarily your clients, the older ladies, or
no? Not kind of all ages.
All ages, okay.
All ages. 16 is my youngest right now. I've helped with the Monroe City football after school lifting program.
Wow!
So I got to guide a couple of some young men, and I've enjoyed that. That really got me out of my comfort zone, but that was a lot of fun. I enjoy helping with that. And then I have some young women in their 20s, ladies in their 30s, ladies in their 40s, so kind of that.
Now you've been
all over the place.
You've been to other competitions since the one in 2016, correct?
Yep. I believe I've done 6 total.
6. That's great.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I'm looking at your Instagram. Is that the NANBF NPC figure competitor competition? Is that what you do?
Yes.
What is that?
So those are 2 of the federations that I compete in. So NPC is a bodybuilding federation, and NANBF is another federation. I strongly prefer the NANBF just because they're extremely thorough with their demographics in the background and what they expect from a natural athlete. So.
What's a natural athlete?
I do a lot. So it's somebody that doesn't abuse steroids.
Are there steroid competitions?
There absolutely are.
Huh. Okay.
But I do not compete in those.
All right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Tell me about the competition. So the NANBF. That's it's a natural competition. What's the advantage to that?
I just think there is a more level playing field. So, I'm not competing against someone who, has used growth hormones, So it just kind of gives everybody, a level aspect to compete against. So it's what I prefer, just because I know my body. I want to compete against women who, have went through the same work that I have. So
forgive my naivety. I didn't know that there was competitions that allowed enhancements or. Oh
yeah.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Yeah,
Is that legal?
Competitions that don't drug test and.
Oh, so it's not legal. It's just kind of a don't ask, don't tell type of thing.
I believe that's kind of what it is.
All right, Lyndsey Ludwig, you're enhancing my knowledge right now. I had no idea that there were competitions that turned their heads and looked away when that sort of thing happened. I thought they all had to be natural. I suppose. Okay. So, training for a competition, how hard is that? What do you have to do? I mean, is it just lifting weights, or is there other things involved?
There's a lot of other things involved.
Take me through those last few weeks, or a competition. As much or as little as you want to tell.
Okay. You start depending on how long you want your prep to be, but there's at least an hour plus lifting in the gym, plus cardio on top of that, and then you add posing, because you got to pose. You got to practice posing. Then you got to be able to pose on your head, and you got to.
So Instagram models will be good at this.
Oh yeah, well,
good at that part anyway.
Yeah, well, it's a different kind of posing. There's a lot of flexing, a lot of. It is in itself. It's a workout. Because you're tensing your whole body, and so it leaves you fatigued. And anytime you're tightening those muscles and loosening them up, it's a workout in itself. So and then you have to take some time to get in the sauna and recoup that body, and I'm on top of that, you got to figure out a way to eat clean 6 times a day. Your meals have to be portioned out, and prepared. And sometimes you're eating cold chicken while you're driving, just trying to get it in, get your meal in. So
wow, Lyndsey Ludwig.
It's hard. It is.
And all that happened in one day?
No, that is about 16 weeks.
But all of these things where you were in a sauna, you worked out for an hour, you stretched, you posed for another hour, you ate 6 meals. This is all one day in the life?
Yes.
Yes.
Plus on top of, if you have a job, if you
that's what I'm. That was my next question.
Family, yes.
Do you have a job, an outside job that you had to do?
I thank God that I started my business and I can work my own schedule.
Wow.
Because it is very hard, and I give it to all the competitors who have a job on top of everything else too, and they don't control their schedule as much, because I'm coaching one lady right now, and she has to get up at 4 a.m. to do, to start her prep training,
Oh my.
because she's got to get her cardio in, she's got to get her posing in, she's got to get, she's got to get all this stuff done. And then she's got to have a job.
You're training a lady that's trying to do competitions as well.
Yes, she is in prep. She will be on stage at the end of September.
Is this one of the older ladies?
She is, I believe, 38.
38. That is great. That is great. There's hope. There's hope. It's not too late.
Yeah. Trust me, you can do it.
Okay.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Now, when you say you started training in 2015, June of 2015, and that was before you had this Berserk Body Company. Were you doing it? Were you working a Joe job at the time, or some other kind of job?
So I quit my job. I hated my life. I hated my job. I hated everything. I quit my job.
What kind of work were you doing?
I was a finance manager at a small finance loan company, and it was just stressful. Like I worked an hour and a half away from the house, so I was on the road 3 hours, a day. I worked 10 hours a day. I never saw my family, never saw my kids, never. I was stressed. It was horrible.
So when you were in school in that small town, you didn't say, when I grow up, I want to be a finance manager for a phone company?
No, did not. And yeah, and I kind of drew the line whenever, I had to knock on people's doors to collect money back. And
yeah.
Like, I was done. I was done with it. I was stressed out. It made if you are not happy with your job, if you're not happy with what you're doing, go find what it is you need to do, because it was not worth it. It was killing me.
Yeah.
I was 260 pounds of miserable person, and I quit my job. I went back to school to finish my degree, and just decided I was going to find myself along the way. And my husband, thank God, he was so super supportive of this, and
yes.
I got to raise our kids, and that was worth it in itself. We struggled for a while just because 5 kids and 1 income. It was hard, but somebody else wasn't raising me.
No, it sounds like you have a good super support system, and I'm glad you have him helping you out as well. And it sounds like you're working together to raise these 5 kids. Now, I guess we're going kind of backwards. We talked about the weight loss. And tell me about the weight gain. Were you always a bigger kid in school? Or you say that you were kind of athletic in school. When did the weight start fluctuating towards the wrong side, the upside? And what's your perfect weight?
I think right around, graduating high school, I was athletic, so I had that athletic build. I wasn't big, I wasn't small. I was just about right,
Yeah.
And that freshman 15, whenever the girls get it almost immediately. Whenever you turn 18, you go to college, next thing you know, you're eating all the time, and you've gained 15 extra pounds. Well, that kind of just kept going. You'd work, and instead of packing your lunch, you'd grab McDonald's, grab all these fast food things, grab stuff that is junk, and just one bad habit after another, just over years turned into, the mess that I was in, the 266 pounds, it was not a year of mistakes. It was years.
So what do you think was it that did you in? I mean, yes, you started to develop bad habits after high school where you were eating more fast food and you weren't exercising at all at this point. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay.
No exercising. I had a sedentary job, so, I sat all day long. ate out constantly. I drink sodas. And yeah, it was just a sedentary job and eating junk, and it just kept piling on. And then when you start having babies, then you gain the baby weight. You don't lose the baby weight. Then you have another baby. You don't lose that baby weight. You know, it next thing you know, you're in a mess, and you can't walk down steps at a Cardinal ball game, and you're you know, winded just to walk to your car. You know, it's time to change. At one point I went to the eye doctor, and she said, "Lyndsey, you are either pre-diabetic or you have extremely rare eye disease." Ooh. I wasn't even 30 at that time.
Hell.
Yeah. And talk about scaring,
that would scare the dickens out of you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So okay. And I don't even know, what year did you graduate high school?
I graduated in 2000.
2000. So from 2000 to 2015, it gradually got worse and worse and worse. I mean, you did have some family. I mean, you got a nice husband, you got some kids, but the body was showing. The fitness was showing. And 2015 was the Cardinal game that broke the camel's back. Was that the year? It seems like that was the pivotal point.
That was a pivotal point whenever I started lifting, but probably the year 2010 was probably my worst.
Right.
I was probably my heaviest around then.
Then you started looking at the YouTube and the Wii games and trying to turn the ship around.
Things. Yeah, and I had to start with just basically stopping soda first, and and just fixing bad habits along the way and rewarding myself whenever I got either the habit was gone or I added a good one,
Okay. So tell me about that. Can you remember that was soda the first thing that you cut out and you said, that's it, no more sodas?
Soda was the first thing that I cut out. Mm-hmm. And then I think the next thing I started putting less sugar in my coffee. Mm-hmm. And then I eventually eliminated all sugar in my coffee. And then tea, which, we're from Missouri, so our tea is sweet,
Yeah.
And then I had to stop drinking tea.
Ooh,
I know.
Southern girl. I'm drinking my Crystal Light right now. That's probably terrible for me.
But
go ahead. Tell me how bad the Crystal Light is.
I don't know, really.
Oh, okay. All right. Continue.
So, it could be okay. I'll just have to check that. I'm not sure. But yeah, I had to stop the things that were putting in empty calories into my body, and then I had to learn how to eat again and eat right, and do the right things.
Tell me about that.
Well, a lot of it is making sure that you're nourishing your body enough. Most people don't eat enough. And whenever I worked at the finance company, I ate a lot of calories, but I ate once a day, but I ate junk, at that time, Now I eat like 6 times a day.
What?
You're
still eating
every
6 times?
3 hours.
What? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yes, I eat. Yes.
I would be as big as a house if I did that. No.
Oh no! Your body actually needs that. When we're babies, your mom feeds you every 2 to 3 hours, and our body needs that. It continuously needs that, because when you go over that 3-hour point, your body is in like an emergency fat storage mode. It doesn't know when it'll get fed again, so it just stores fat. And so I had to set a timer and make sure that I was eating, every 3 hours, eating something. I would eat my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I have snacks in between. Not eating full portions or full meals all the time. Just my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then snacks in between.
Okay. All right. So 2010, you cut out the sodas, and you, in place of the sodas, you put what? Water. And then you cut out the sugar in your coffee. In place of that, you put what?
Nothing.
Okay. Now, progressive, progressed through the years. Through 2010, you gave up those two things, or how many things did you give up in 2010? And then progressively, you gave up more things, but then you added what good things to your diet?
Sometimes I didn't add anything. Like sometimes, I didn't. Sometimes I didn't add exercise until probably 2014. Just because I was kind of a mess, I wasn't ready to do it all at once, I think a lot of people jump into the whole, I'm going to work out, I'm going to eat right, I'm going to do it all, I'm going to do it right now.
Right.
And it doesn't always work that way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is hard to start a good habit and break bad habits. It is hard to do that. And you have to teach your body sometimes, and you have to teach your mind a lot of times, So, I really try to have my clients do a power list. And that's what I go by. Okay. It's a list of 5 things that you have to do to win your day.
Go ahead.
And, currently mine right now is the 15 minutes of meditation. Following through with my children on their chores.
Okay.
Cardio, because I hate cardio. And let's see, what was the other 2? 2 loads of laundry a day.
Okay.
Which I really should do 3, but sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
understood. 2 is hard to get done.
With 5 kids, that laundry machine should not be stopping. Should be going constantly.
Exactly. Exactly. And so, it's not all about fitness. It's about figuring out what you need to do to win good habits and lose bad habits, and to progress yourself along to make yourself better in all aspects of your life.
Yeah, your pursuit of happiness, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yes.
All right. So it took you 10 years to gain the weight, and it's taken you, 6 years, I guess, or so, from 2010 to get here. Do you feel like you're where you want to be?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
I find that's the curse of bodybuilders is, let me get to this goal. And then once you get to it, you know what? I could do better.
Right.
It never ends. It never ends.
It doesn't. And you know what? Along the way, you get hiccups. You get derailed. I broke my foot.
Ooh.
Just accidentally,
When was that?
And then, I was in prep when that happened. So I did a whole prep in a boot.
Ooh.
It was, yes. It was, that was a struggle. But, you have things like that come along, and they challenge you, and you have to overcome them. slipped on some ice back in February, and I was out for a whole month just trying to recoup from that. And, I have a shoulder injury, so and I don't even know how that happened. You become 30 in your 30s, the next thing you know.
Oh, yeah.
Those aches and pains come,
I understand completely.
So things like that happen, and then it knocks you back a little bit, and you got to readjust, and you got to readjust that power list and figure out how it's going to work for you, and how you're going to progress to make yourself better.
Yeah. All right. So you say you eat 6 meals a day. Tell me, what are those 6 meals consisting of, and what times? You said every 3 hours. Woo.
Yes. Normally I start around 7 or so, just depending on when I get up. Sometimes 6. And my first meal is almost always eggs and wheat toast.
Okay.
I absolutely love eggs and wheat toast. That's my breakfast every morning. And then my snack will be. I love Built Bars. My sponsor hooks me up with these Built Bars. And yeah, Nutrition Street, they're the best. But and I love having those for a snack, or apples and peanut butter, or celery and peanut butter, and things like that. Fruit, love fruit. And then lunch, I normally have like a grilled chicken sandwich or something like that. I love whole wheat buns or wraps, and I'll throw something on there with a bunch of lettuce and tomatoes, and load it up with veggies.
Yeah.
And then for my afternoon, my afternoon is normally whenever I lift. So whenever I get done with my lift, I normally do a protein shake, and then like a piece of fruit, like orange or cherries. Right now, I'm all about cherries. And like a handful of almonds or something like that. And then dinner, we normally have like a grilled chicken or some shrimp or fish, or we're hunters, so we love deer. Venison is great, so it's super lean meat. So
yes.
We have something normally like that with us for the kids, and then before bed I normally have cottage cheese.
Well, with eating all this food, you have to be exercising. Is that correct? You can't just eat all this good food and expect miracles to happen.
Well, no, you could eat all that and still lose weight.
Really?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Most of my clients are like, I cannot believe I could eat this much.
Right.
But you can. Like, you can. The majority of the people just don't eat enough. They need to learn how to eat. That timely manner is so important.
And that's part of the services that you teach, Lyndsey Ludwig.
Absolutely.
What?
Absolutely.
How'd you learn about nutrition?
A lot of reading, a lot of learning from people who are smarter than me, learning from these women who have these ripped up, beautiful bodies, They all did the same thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to eat less. And I had to starve myself whenever I was actually doing more harm than good.
Huh.
So when I learned how to eat, when to eat, the right things to eat, that's whenever huge results happen.
Yeah. Now I see you in one of the pictures holding a gun of some kind, a rifle of some kind. Mm-hmm. You say you're a hunter.
That's my Benelli.
Ah, how often do you go out and hunt?
I am I'm a bow hunter.
Okay.
So I love to shoot my guns. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But I prefer to bow hunt.
Is it more sporting?
It is more sporty. It requires a lot of time in the woods, and that is what I like. I like the hunt, the draw, and you have to be a lot more closer to the deer, and it's a lot more sporty in my opinion. You have to really practice and love, and it's I don't know. There's nothing like sitting in the woods for hours upon hours and just reflecting about life and
all right,
and God's creation, you know?
Well, Lyndsey Ludwig, is this something you do on your own, or does the whole family get involved with this?
My dad was a hunter. Yeah, he's a hunter. He has been his whole life. So, yeah, I kind of probably got a lot of that from him. But my husband and I will hunt. We don't hunt together normally. We hunt together. But, for some reason, we don't hunt well.
Is it problematic? Is it, hey, you shouldn't be holding it that way, holding that gun that way, holding that crossbow wrong?
Well, I like to sit in certain spots, and he likes to sit in certain spots, and so it's just best we don't sit together.
I love it. Keep that marriage together.
Yes. He was with me whenever I shot my first doe, and oh man, that was just an amazing experience. Just so grateful for the deer giving his life, and it was it was a really good. I don't know, brought out my Indian in me, we cried, we, celebrated, and we were, it was a very, very blessed experience.
No, I've heard it changed your life, Lyndsey Ludwig. I've never had the opportunity myself, but I've heard it's very spiritual. You feel very differently. And then especially you use all the parts of the deer, or as many as you can. You say you eat the venison and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's hey, I'm all for hunting. As long as that the outcome is that you use whatever you shoot, and that's
absolutely
great. That's great.
Yes,
now
it instills a lot of great values in your children.
You say you and the hubby
you teach them those things.
Yeah, you say you and the hubby do it. Do any of the kids get involved?
The kids want to go too. Some of them a little more than others.
Yeah.
Some of them are okay with sitting still for a while, and then some of them are like, I got better things to do.
Hey, you pull them away from the laptop a little bit,
Yes, that's super important. Get them outside and get them active,
Yeah.
Out in nature. So.
That's cool. Now I'm looking at your Facebook, and it says you're sponsored by Nutrition HQ. Tell me about that.
Yes. So whenever I first kind of started my lifting, I went into Nutrition HQ, and I needed supplementation. I needed a protein powder that was worth a crap, I went to Walmart and got this horrible protein, and I was like, if that's what protein tastes like, I'm not going to drink it. There's no way. And it was bad. And so I went into Nutrition HQ, and they gave me the best customer service, and it taught me so much. I walked away from there, with a protein powder and a friend, and then it was like every month that I went in, I needed to get protein powder or get whatever. Tyler, the owner, we just clicked. He's just a great guy, and he just cares about his customers, and taking care of them and giving them exactly what they need, and making sure that he just supplies the very best possible products out there. And I know that I love so much that I know that anything that I buy from them is top quality, And when there's supplements out there, there's so many supplements out there. You don't know if you're getting good stuff or not. You don't know if you're getting high quality things. And, if you're going to put it into your body, you want to make sure that you're putting in something great,
Yeah. Now, the page that you have on your Facebook, I clicked on it, and it's in Quincy, Illinois. Is that the one you go to?
Nutrition HQ is in Quincy, Illinois. Yep, that is my store.
Oh, all the way from Missouri. Is it close?
Yeah. Actually, we're not too far away. It's about 35 minutes.
Look at you.
Yeah, we're right on the Illinois border.
Yeah, I'm down here in Conway, Arkansas. I know you're just above me there in Missouri. So, yeah, we're getting geography lessons as well on the What Makes You Famous podcast with Lyndsey Ludwig. Excellent. So that's where you get your supplements from Nutrition HQ. And how do they sponsor you?
They're my biggest supporter. Whenever I started competitions, they asked me to be an athlete for them.
Yeah.
And that was ginormous for me. They had seen this whole transformation and been there for me. So I was completely honored whenever they did.
For sure.
And so they hooked me up with a lot of different things. And they are definitely my number one supporter. And, in the women's or in the Miss Health and Fitness 2019 competition, they are my biggest contributor to the Wounded Warrior Foundation. So, they give a lot for me, and I am so very, very thankful for them.
Excellent. That's good. That says a lot about you. And I'm looking on their page, and right there on May 30th, there's Lyndsey Ludwig just hanging out on the Nutrition HQ page, and they're putting you out there and supporting you. That's great. That says a lot about you, and it says a lot about Nutrition HQ. That's excellent. You have that support as well. Now tell me about Berserk Body. How did that name come about? How did that come about?
I don't know. I had a fascination with bees my whole life for some crazy reason. All my dogs, all their names start with B. They have my entire life. And
hey, did the kids have all B's or what?
No.
They lucked out. You lucked out, kids.
Yeah. Most of theirs start with A.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but I was out in the shop one day, and a song came on about Berserk, and I was trying to think of different ways to, promote a business, and it just came along.
Yeah.
I asked a few people about some of the different names, and they liked this one the best. So
yeah. I like the alliteration, Berserk Body. It rolls off the tongue real nice.
Yes.
Lyndsey Ludwig of the Berserk Body. Yeah, I found you on the Instagram, and you seem
That's
pretty
right.
cool. And we've been talking for over an hour.
Oh, wow.
Letting the people know about Lyndsey Ludwig. It's just been so natural. You're easy to talk to, and I'm sure it reflects in your business when you're training people. If you have that kind of a personality where you can chit chat with people about things and whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of therapy too. Yeah,
I'm
a
sure
little
of
bit
it.
of therapy, a little bit of lifting. Yeah.
I'm
You
sure
gotta-
you put your therapist hat on while you're training the people.
Absolutely.
While you're making them do their splits. Oh,
Yeah.
I know you mentioned you had some martial arts in you, and the last time I took Taekwondo, my sensei used to push on my butt as I was trying to do the Van Damme split, and just ow, and I got 6 inches off the ground. I think that was the best I did, and this is back in the early '90s, and whew, it hurt a lot. But if you talk through it, everything will be fine, won't it?
That's right.
So tell me about the art. Are you doing art as well?
I love graffiti.
Graffiti.
So I do a little bit of that. And, I don't do it near as much as what I used to, but just time. But,
like defacing buses and trains?
Oh, no. I just deface my gym.
Oh, that's cool too.
Yes.
I don't see any pictures of your gym with the graffiti.
I cover up a lot of it with my posters and things like that.
Yeah, I see flags.
Yeah, I covered up quite a bit. I put a lot of flags up over my stuff. But yeah.
Well, show it off. Especially, I see the Berserk Body logo. Is that something you designed?
Oh, I did.
Well, that's graffiti. I liked it. That's cool, and the gang. I can dig it.
Yeah.
Oh, don't lose that. I mean, that's another avenue, another facet of Lyndsey Ludwig. And I've had a blast chit-chatting with you. Oh, I'm having a good time. Yeah. Anything else you want to tell the people?
I'm in first right now in my group for the Miss Health and Fitness 2019 competition. It's an opportunity to be on the cover of Hers magazine, which would be a great honor for me.
Yeah.
And also, there's a competition for $20,000 are at stake, and you get a 2-page spread on about you. You get to share your story and help inspire other people. And so, I would love if anybody would get on there, send a vote out to me. It would be great. I'm loving this competition and being a part of it, and empowering other women, and to get the opportunity to be this far is very honoring. So,
where do they go, Lyndsey Ludwig? Where do they go?
The link is in my bio, so you can click right on there, and you can either donate to the Wounded Warrior Project, or you can vote for free. Either one is greatly appreciated. So follow me on Instagram, on my Berserk Body Instagram, and the link is there.
That is cool. I just clicked it, and there it is. You're a Wounded Warrior, Miss Health and Fitness. Wow, that is great. Is that the next competition that you're in, or do you have?
That is the next competition that I'm in. Currently, I'm missing a hurt shoulder, so I'm taking a little time off doing some upper body. So right now I'm working on this. On this, I've got some great goals to expand the business after I get that $20,000.
Yes,
and so we're working on winning this.
That is excellent. I'm definitely going to put your links in the show notes and let people know how to get a hold of Lyndsey Ludwig, the CEO of Berserk Body, an athlete for Nutrition HQ, Mama, and the NANBF and the NPC figure competitor. Oh, that's cool. And then you have coaching collaborations. You can DM or email berserkerbody@gmail.com. Do it. Yeah. So how many people can you train in a week?
My weeks vary. I do a lot of online coaching, so that helps free up a little bit of time throughout my day. I like to, train between 4 and 7 people a day.
Wow.
Don't really like to go over more than that, just because it gets into a lot of my training time.
Oh yeah, and you have to make yourself a schedule. Yeah.
Absolutely.
People that own their own business, when you first started, you worked 24 hours a day. You never worked harder than when you own your own business. Right. But I encourage you, if you want to do it, you do it. There is no downtime at first, but then you have to really buckle down and figure out, you know what, I'm going to do this from this time to this time, and then devote the rest of that time to family and things that you want to do. That's great. Lyndsey Ludwig, any last words for the people?
No, I appreciate your time. I appreciate listening. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having me on here. It's been a great experience.
I appreciate you, Lyndsey Ludwig. I'll be putting this up probably in the next hour or so, and I'll send you the link.
Oh, awesome! All right,
I'm trying to find some good pictures. I can't find one good picture. I'm gonna have to make a collage to really showcase the Lyndsey Ludwig experience.
Awesome! I can't wait to see it.
All right, then. Thank you so much, Lyndsey Ludwig.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, party people. Lyndsey Ludwig. What a journey. What a story. See, everyone has a story. Lyndsey Ludwig had a story. She's got those kids. She got that hubby. And she's berserk body. She took the knowledge she has of bodybuilding and working out and exercising and eating right. And then she transferred it into a business. Yeah, you can get away from the job you don't like and you can make something you do like into a business. That's what you do. You turn your likes and your desires into a business. And that's what Lyndsey Ludwig did. CEO of Berserk Body. Look her up. Do it. I encourage you. I'm putting her links in the show notes. You better check it out. Follow her. She's a good follow. And she's a good person. That was a nice little chit chat that we had. Thank you so much, Lyndsey Ludwig, for being on the program, What Makes You Famous. I appreciate you so much. If you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you. Give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for this installment of What Makes You Famous. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.
Radio What? The music you want. Hey guys, this is Shelly G with a fast fact. The home video recorder was introduced in 1972 by Philips of the Netherlands. Do you have a fast fact? Share it with us at Interactive Radio, radiowhat.com.
This is Keys Dan.
And this is Shelly G.
And you're listening to
Radio What?
.com.